The themes of renewal, friendship, and growth make this book feel like spring in story form. Do you want to read more and feel good about what you're reading, but struggle with time and finding clean books? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Cassidy, a wife, mom, and a lifelong reader whose faith shapes what I read. I learned how to make time for books and choose ones that align with my values. If you're ready for clean books you don't have to second guess and simple reading tips that fit real life, cozy up and let's make reading fun again. I am so excited to invite you to something really fun. Inside my Cozy Escape book club, we're getting ready for our spring reading challenge starting in April, and I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be so much fun. If you've ever struggled with finding time to read, getting distracted, or just feeling like there's too many books and you don't know what to choose, this challenge is going to help so much. Because instead of trying to figure it out all alone, you're going to be reading along aside a whole community of women who love clean and Christian books just like you do. We read together, we chat about books, we stay motivated, and it makes reading feel cozy again instead of overwhelming. So if that sounds like something you want to do this spring with us, you can join us at fruitfulreader.com/book club and make sure you get in before the challenge starts in April. All right, now let's talk about spring books. Every year when spring rolls around, my reading mood completely changes. Winter reading for me is usually kind of heavier, like longer books, thrillers, fantasy, maybe something a little deeper, but when spring comes, I just want all the fun, fresh stories. I want my books to feel hopeful and cozy and uplifting and maybe a little romantic, and I just want to have that kind of fun to read feeling. Because if you're anything like me, life is already busy enough. Between work, family, kids, and everything else, it can be really hard committing the time to sit down and read, even if the book isn't pulling you in. And that's one of the biggest frustrations I hear from readers all the time. A book can start too slow, plot isn't interesting, and suddenly you're getting distracted and abandoning the book halfway through. So spring is that perfect time to reset. I love choosing books this season that are easy to get into and stay hooked on. Books where you can sit down and read a few pages and suddenly you're like, wait, how is it already midnight? Those are the kind of stories I love to read. And that's exactly why I'm sharing some of my favorite in my spring book list this year. But before we start, I want to encourage you to choose books that match a seasonal mood. One reason I feel like people struggle with staying focused or getting distracted is because the book just doesn't match their reading mood. It's so fun to read with the seasons. In spring, you can do the hopeful, cozy, relationship-focused books. And maybe in the winter, you're reading more thrillers and mysteries. And in the fall, you're reading books set in the fall. It just is super fun. I think personally, it brings a new spice to your reading life. All right, let's dive into my 8 spring reads that I want to share with you. And I do have a full list of 14 books linked below in my blog post, so you can make sure you go check that out in the show notes to see the rest. The first one is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This one is a classic spring read. It follows Mary and Colin as they discover a hidden garden that slowly brings healing and transformation to their lives. The themes of renewal, friendship, and growth make this book feel like spring in story form. I know it's kind of a younger audience, but I really enjoy it as an adult. And my secret to reading younger books like this is audiobooks. It's very lovely on audio, so go give it a try. You might really like it. Next is Love in Bloom by Jenny Proctor. This is a rivals to lovers rom-com set in Charleston about 2 competing tour guides who absolutely cannot stand each other. It's the best. So much tension. The banter and the pranks between them are so funny, and the setting adds so much charm. I have another classic on my list called Little Women by Louise May Alcott. If you've never read this one, it's a beautiful story about the March sisters growing up and navigating life, love, and personal growth together. It's one of those books that always feel really hopeful and fresh when you reread it. I loved this book so much. I read it multiple times in high school. I read it as an adult. I remember reading it so much that the school librarian gave me a copy. That's how much I read it. It's a really, really, really beautiful book. Highly recommend if you've never read it. The next one I think you really should read for the spring vibes is Eden Brook by Julianne Donaldson. This is a cozy Regency romance that feels a lot like kind of a Jane Austen story. Maureen travels to the countryside expecting a quiet visit and instead finds adventure and romance that she did not see coming. It's super sweet, charming, and perfect for spring. Moving into more of a fantasy feel is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is really whimsical and it is a middle grade read, but hang in there. It is just so fun. Sophia is cursed and turned into an old woman, and her only hope is the mysterious wizard Howl and his moving castle. It's magical and heartfelt, and the characters are just so fun. And plus, then you can watch the movie after if you want to. Next is City of Love by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. This is a really sweet mistaken identity romance set in Paris. It is a YA, but I found that it still reads really well as an adult. And plus, Gracie Ruth Mitchell is one of my favorite authors. Like, all of her books are amazing. Go read them if you love rom-coms. sitcoms with amazing banter. This one is about Lydia, who travels there to meet her pen pal, only to discover that he isn't who she thought he was. The Paris setting and the playful dialogue makes this such a fun, easy read. Another historical book that I loved was When the Meadow Blooms by Anne H. Gabbard. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a Christian book, and it's about a widow and her daughter starting over on a quiet farm. It's very, very character driven and full of themes of healing, grace, and second chances. Wonderful story, very beautiful. And last, to give you another rom-com option, is Girl Meets Grump by Haley Gardner. This is so perfect for the people who love that good, grumpy sunshine romance. It's so fun. It follows this really grumpy builder who builds cabins and things, and the new manager who turns his quiet plans upside down. It's funny, it's heartfelt, and it's just really hard to put down. I really, really enjoy this one. I read it so fast. So if you're looking for the perfect books to read this spring, here's what I want you to remember. First, choose books that match the light, hopeful feeling of the season. Second, pick stories that pull you in quickly so you can stay hooked instead of getting distracted. And third, if you really want to read more consistently this year, don't try to do it alone. Join a reading community. And if you've been looking for a cozy place to do that, come join us inside my Cozy Escape Book Club before our spring reading challenge starts in April. You can join us at fruitfulreader.com/book club. I would absolutely love to read with you this spring. Hey friend, if you loved today's episode, take 30 seconds to join our free Facebook community of over 30,000 women at fruitfulreader.com/group and connect with readers who just want to read more without worrying about what they'll run into. And if you haven't yet, leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It truly helps other readers find the show. Now go pick something off that TBR or add 3 more. I won't judge. I'll see you next week. Happy reading.